Hey, humans have always been a curious, daring bunch. Hand them a stick and they'll figure out fire. Give them a cow and sooner or later someone's going to take a drink and say, yup, this is definitely worth it. So naturally, if you give them a 50,000-year-old frozen bison, somebody's gonna make a stew out of it. It's 1979 and a couple of gold miners, Walter and Rolf Roman, are just going about their day in Fairbanks, Alaska, probably hoping to strike it rich. But instead of hitting gold, they hit a frozen bison. Naturally, as any rational human beings would do, they call up the University of Alaska, because who doesn't want to show off their frozen Ice Age roadkill to some scientists? Enter Dr. R. Dale Guthrie, paleontologist extraordinaire.
Damn, the bones nailed it.
He takes one look at this chili bovine and thinks, well, this sucker's old. And he's right. Radiocarbon dating suggests the bison is around 36,000 years old, give or take a few millennia, but George Ruther, another science guy, one-ups everyone with his state-of-the-art high-tech radiocarbon dating instrument, his eyes, and knowledge, and says, nope, it's actually 50,000 years old. So now we've got ourselves a 50,000-year-old steppe bison, which, fun fact, doesn't exist anymore because Ice Age stuff tends to do that kind of thing. Guthrie, now fully invested in this ancient bovine discovery, fear that it might decompose, so they can't just let this bison rot in the frozen ground. But due to the frozen ground, the beast can't be easily taken out. So what does he do? Fast forward a bit and Guthrie's team finally yanked out the whole bison out of the ground, but wait, it's blue? Why is it blue? Well, that's thanks to something called vivianite, a fancy mineral that turns blue when exposed to air. Science is weird. So they named this ancient now blue bison Blue Babe. Cute name, horrifying origin story. Now, here's where things get interesting. The bison didn't die of old age or hypothermia. Nope, this big guy got taken down by a giant Ice Age feline, probably a Panthera leuathrox, which, in case you're wondering, is like the prehistoric cousin of today's lions. The cat ripped into Blue Babe like it was at an all-you-can-eat buffet, leaving claw and tooth marks everywhere, exposing the poor bison's spine and ribs. But here's the kicker, Blue Babe was so well preserved, Guthrie and his pals found muscle tissues that looked like beef jerky. So naturally, Guthrie, being a seasoned hunter and a guy who clearly watched too much survival shows,
and the only thing I can do is to drink my own pee,
thinks, I bet this 50,000-year-old bison will make a killer stew. Why not eat it? So they did. They cut off some of that well-preserved neck meat, which when thawed apparently had a beef-like aroma, with side notes of dirt and mushrooms. Delicious. Since the neck was tough, cooking it like a steak wasn't an option, so they decided to stew it up with some spices and vegetables, and thus the world's most exclusive, most ancient dinner party was born. Guthrie hosted a prehistoric meal featuring Blue Babe stew and wine, with 12 brave souls attending. They ate it, no one died, and Guthrie declared it delicious. Turns out bacteria didn't stand a chance against 50 years of freezer burn. Now, you might be asking yourself what could possibly inspire these people to chow down on Ice Age leftovers. Well, it turns out they were partly motivated by stories of Russian scientists eating a woolly mammoth in 1901. Except, spoiler alert, the whole mammoth feast thing was probably fake, according to some scientists who were like, frozen animals would just turn into goo. But hey, Guthrie wasn't about to let some naysayers ruin his Blue Babe stew dream. So, while the mammoth story might have been bunk, the 1984 Blue Babe dinner party is the real deal. And that, folks, is how a 50,000-year-old bison made it onto the menu. Because when life gives you a frozen bison, you make stew.